Well, we're going to be talking about to work or not to work, which is a dilemma that many of us have within motherhood. It is a question that so many of us have been asking, honestly, for decades. And it is a question that needs to be answered, that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be what you need right now in terms of making decisions for your family. If we have not already met, my name is Lydia, and I'm so glad that you're here. And if you are joining me on YouTube, be sure to subscribe so you can press the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when new videos come on. If you're watching this on Facebook, very glad to have you here. And if you're in the Super Moms group, welcome. I'm so glad you're in this space with us, and you're welcome, of course, to join if you're not already in that group. So let's get into it, talking about to work or to not work. When we consider that for many of us, we went to school, we started careers, and then had children. Okay. There comes this moment where there's a bit of a fracture, there's a bit of a divide because we have the way in which we've always seen ourselves, that we've identified with our career, we've identified with our work. And now there's this new role that's come up of being a mother, of being a caregiver, of being someone who is nurturing and growing a new life. In that space, a couple different things can happen, right? One is this, oh my goodness, I'm so enthralled and I love being a mom. I love how I'm able to care for this young one. I love the possibilities that are here. And there's a job and it's whatever. I'm not really sure what to do with it. It's there, right? Then there's the I've become a mom, which is awesome. And I love the work that I'm doing. I love the way that I'm serving. I love the way that I'm impacting. Yet I feel like because I'm in this job, because I'm in this space, because I'm away from my child, I'm missing out. I'm not able to fully engage and to fully support and to be the mom that I've desired to be. Right? So then the question comes of, I'm sitting at the job and I'm doing the work, but I wish I was at home. Or I'm at home with my little one, yet part of me goes, I really do need to be working. I know that I was making impact there, and there's something to be said for that. So then it really comes down to this understanding of, okay, how do we figure out to work or not to work? First things first, because if you've hung out with me for any amount of time, you will find that I tend to have my own definition on things. Okay. When it comes to working, you are a mother, which automatically means that you are working, in my opinion. Okay. You are choosing to show up and to care for another human. That is work. Okay. So to think that somehow moving away from being in a career or being in that workplace means that you're no longer working is not a fully, it's not fully deserving, right? Because what's true is that when you're in that space and you're caring and you're growing another human, that is work, and that is honorable work. That is awesome work. It does not negate the work that you were doing in that career by any means. We just need to make sure that we understand that both are in fact work. So as much as I'm saying to work or not to work, it's recognizing that many people don't see, unfortunately, just how energetically and resourcefully and creatively being a mom as well as being in a career requires you to show up. Okay. The second is this: if you feel that there's this underlying feeling that if I'm in this mom role, that means that I am no longer fully myself. That I am no longer, for example, I'm not Lydia, I'm H's mom. I'm my kid's mom, or I am Elijah's mom, or I am uh, Russell's mom, right? If now all of a sudden you've lost identity and that's part of the desire to be at the workplace, or that's the apprehension of being a full-time mom, I totally get that. I totally get that. And it is because you've put in the time and you've put in the investment for you to show up in a way where people are able to value you and value how it is that you've developed your skill set. And now you're going potentially into a whole new arena where you may not have the skill sets to be able to excel the same way or have the accomplishments and have the accolades that you would when you're in a career. So first things first is you need to consider what it is that you are called and designed to do. Okay, I typically, when I'm having conversations with people and we're walking through and helping them to determine how it is that they're going to show up fully alive, is to say, what is it that you are called and created to do? What is a special thing within you that when you do it, it fuels you? What is that special way that you show up that you're probably doing in your workplace if you really enjoy the work that you're doing? It's showing up there. How is it that that same core foundational piece can show up in your motherhood, can show up as you're caring for your family, can show up as you're a part of your community? Instead of feeling like it's either or, which in many cases we make it out to be, and then it needs to be divisive, what if in fact you then become the hub and those become extensions of your expression of what it is that you're gifted in, that your genius is in? Okay. When that becomes the case, then it means that in the event that you choose, you know what, I desire to move away from being in this career, whether it's permanently or for a season, to be in that place of motherhood, you can do so with confidence, knowing that it's not now, I'm just simply a mom, but you are fully who you are. You understand what your giftings are. You understand how you can bring that into motherhood. And as a result, that becomes a flow through, just like your career was a flow through. At the same time, if you're going, I am caring for this little one, and yet I see just how impactful this work can be, awesome. Then it's choosing to be able to say, when I'm showing up in my space of motherhood, when I am putting in that time, when I'm connecting with my child, that it is with great intention, so that I know that when I'm at my workplace, when I'm out in the field, when I'm lecturing, when I am creating, when I am inputting data, when I'm doing whatever it is that I am called to do and I choose to do, that I do it knowing that I am not somehow giving less to my child, that I have poured into them, that we have connection, and I can now show up in this space fully knowing that I am whole. That's really the question. Okay. That's really the root, the heart of the matter, is understanding that your wholeness is what's at stake. Okay. So I invite you to think through that process to understand what it is that you are called, gifted, and created in doing, and to allow that to be part of what then helps you to make the choice of how you show up in those spaces, whether you choose to fully shift over to being in full-time motherhood, meaning that is your full-time role, responsibility, occupation, if you will, or if it's to be in working mode and in your career. And so doing that, you're also supporting your child. Okay. So there's no judgment on that whatsoever. So if you go, oh goodness, she's just going to tell me to be a stay-at-home mom and a homestead and the rest of it. If that's what you're called to do it. If not, girl, do what you need to do. Okay. So with that, I want to make sure you have this as a quick resource. I put this link in the comment section below. You can feel free to click on it. It's my top 5 tips for career to home mom. So if you're thinking about making that transition, it's some things to help you do that as smoothly as possible. It can be very much a culture shock if you're not prepared for it, to move from being out and engaging with your workspace to now being, in some cases, feeling very isolated, feeling very alone within motherhood. So we're going to make sure you can do that as holistically and as beautifully and honorably as possible. So with that, hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Know that you are amazing, and I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow.